It began as a whisper from the edge of the solar system. The deep space telescopes at the lunar array caught it first. A vibration, a pulse that wasn't random. It repeated every 11 seconds like a heartbeat made of static. Then came the silence. For months, Earth scientists watched the void, listening, waiting, hoping it was just cosmic noise. But the truth arrived in the form of light, a burning trail across the blackness. Something vast was moving between the stars. They called it the descent. The first object entered the solar system on March 14, 2087. At first, it looked like an asteroid, dark and dead. But when it passed Mars, it changed course, it turned. Asteroids don't turn. And when it reached Earth orbit, it opened. It wasn't a rock. It was a ship, kilometers wide, blacker than space itself, surrounded by a shimmering field that distorted light. It released hundreds of smaller craft like shards of night, and they fell into Earth's atmosphere like burning rain. That was the day the sky became our enemy. The first wave. No one knew where they came from. No signal, no warning, no communication. Just attack. The first strikes hit major cities. New York, Beijing, London, Moscow, Islamabad, Rio. The ships didn't use missiles or lasers. They unleashed sound. A resonant frequency that shattered concrete, glass, and bone. People fled in chaos, but there was no escape. Wherever the sound touched, life ceased. The United Nations, once fractured and powerless, united in a single breath of desperation. They called it Project Aegis, the defense of Earth. Every satellite, every weapon, every soldier was placed under one command. And at its head stood General Arya Kellen, a war hero from the Europa conflict. Her face became the symbol of resistance, calm, unbroken, and defiant. "We do not surrender the Earth," she said in her first broadcast. "We are the Earth. And we will stand." The enemy revealed. The second wave came 2 weeks later. This time humanity was ready, or thought it was. Orbital cannons fired, fighter drones swarmed, and nuclear missiles streaked across the atmosphere. For a moment it seemed to work. The alien ships broke apart, flaming across the sky. Cheers erupted from bunkers and command centers. Then the wreckage began to move. It wasn't metal, it was alive. A biomechanical swarm that regenerated, feeding on the radiation from the nukes. What humans had destroyed, the aliens rebuilt, stronger, faster, deadlier. Scientists named them the Vorath, though no one knew if that was their true name. They didn't speak. They didn't negotiate. They simply consumed. They harvested energy, water, even DNA. Every human they captured was absorbed into the black mass. Their forms twisted, their memories burned away. They were building something, or maybe someone. The resistance. By the third month, humanity was losing. Half the planet was under Vorath control. The oceans boiled where their ships landed. The sky turned red over the Pacific. But humanity adapted. They always did. Scientists on the lunar base discovered something. The Vorath's energy field vibrated at a frequency similar to the signal detected months earlier. If they could replicate and reverse it, it might disrupt the swarm's regeneration. They called it the pulse, humanity's last hope. General Kellen gathered every remaining warship at the ruins of the International Space Station, now refitted into a mobile fortress. From there, they would launch one final strike, directly into the heart of the Vorath mothership orbiting Earth. The final battle. It began over the ruins of what was once North America. The human fleet, broken, battered, but burning bright, rose from the clouds like fireflies against the abyss. The Vorath ship loomed above, its black surface pulsing like a living heart. Kellen stood on the bridge of the Aegis I, staring at the monster that had devoured half her world. "For every city they took," she said quietly, "for every soul they erased, we make them remember us." The fleet advanced. Vorath drones swarmed like locusts, tearing through steel and flesh. Battleships exploded, debris raining over burning continents. But the humans pushed forward, protecting the carrier ship holding the pulse. Kellen's second-in-command, Commander Ito, yelled over the comms. "Shields at 30%. "We can't hold this line." "We don't need to hold it," Kellen replied. "We just need one shot." The pulse core reached critical charge. Kellen ordered the ship to ram straight into the Vorath mothership. The crew didn't hesitate. There was no room for fear, only purpose. The pulse. As Aegis 1 collided with the Vorath ship, Kellen activated the pulse. For a moment time seemed to stop. The sound that had once destroyed cities now turned against its creators. The frequency reversed, a wave of pure resonance that spread through the atmosphere, through the oceans, through space itself. The Vorath screamed. Not with voices, but with reality itself. The air split, the light warped, the stars flickered. Across the planet, their ships crumbled. The black swarms fell silent. The sky cleared. The earth was quiet. Aftermath. Days later, the survivors emerged from bunkers and ruins. The cities were ash, but the planet still turned. The oceans still breathed. Humanity, against all odds, had survived. Kellen's ship never returned. Some said she died in the blast. Others believed she was absorbed into the mothership before it disintegrated. But strange signals began to echo from the void weeks later. Faint, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Every 11 seconds. Just like before. Epilogue. A century passed. The world rebuilt. Smaller, wiser, quieter. The ruins of old cities became monuments to the fallen. Humanity ventured back into space, cautious but curious, carrying the memory of that war like a scar. And on the edge of the solar system the signal returned. But this time it wasn't a warning. It was a voice. "We remember the ones who stood. We remember the fire of your world. We are coming again." And somewhere in the deep void, where light itself bends and time forgets, something vast opened its eyes. The war had never truly ended. It had only begun.